Omega was forced to dance for laughs until Alpha King asked why the moon mark glowed on her skin. Hello everyone. Before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It's quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to our main character. Emma Stone was trapped. The sound of laughter and clinking glasses echoed through the grand hall as she stood there, her heart pounding. She had been forced into this, forced to dance like a puppet, twisting and turning for the amusement of the elite, for the noblemen who saw her as nothing more than a joke. An Omega, the lowest of the low in the royal court's rigid hierarchy, Emma had no choice but to obey. Her body moved mechanically to the music, each step an act of compliance, her face a mask of stoic indifference. The nobles cheered, clapping in time with the beat, but Emma's eyes remained fixed on the floor, not daring to meet anyone's gaze. Her only escape was the music, her only solace, the rhythm of the song that drowned out the mocking voices in her head. But then, as if in slow motion, something shifted. The air grew heavier, the music blurring into a distant hum. Emma felt it before she saw it, the strange sensation that started at the back of her neck, spreading down her arms and across her skin. Her pulse quickened. A soft glow began to emanate from the mark on her forearm, the mark she had long tried to hide. The moon mark. It pulsed gently, like a heartbeat, lighting up the darkening room in a soft, ethereal glow. It had always been there, but it had never done this before. The glow was faint but undeniable, and it drew the attention of someone in the crowd. Alpha King Alexander Carter. His sharp, observant eyes locked onto Emma as the soft light from her mark flickered across his face. He stood at the edge of the crowd, tall and imposing, his posture one of quiet authority. His gaze was intense, narrowing in curiosity. Emma froze. She had always kept her moon mark hidden, kept it buried beneath the long sleeves of her dress, covered by the layers of her existence as a mere servant in the court. She never let anyone see it, not even the king. But now, in this moment, with the whole room watching, she couldn't hide it. Alexander's eyes never left her as the room's laughter faded into an uncomfortable silence. He stepped forward, his voice calm but demanding. "Why is it glowing?" he asked, his tone more curious than accusing. But the weight of his question hung in the air like a heavy storm cloud. Emma's heart skipped a beat. She didn't know how to answer, didn't know what to say. She had never been asked about it before. No one had ever cared enough to ask. But now, standing before the Alpha King, the man who held the power to destroy her, she couldn't help but wonder if this was the moment everything would change. The room was silent now, every pair of eyes locked on Emma. The music had stopped, and the nobles were no longer clapping. It was as if the entire world had come to a standstill, waiting for her to speak. She could feel the heat of their gazes, the pressure mounting with every passing second. The moon mark on her arm glowed brighter now, casting an almost ethereal light on her skin. The air seemed charged with electricity, and Emma felt her heart race in her chest. She tried to steady her breath, but the weight of Alexander's gaze was overwhelming. King Alexander Carter was a man of power, a man who held the fate of the kingdom in his hands. His presence alone commanded respect. His eyes, cold and piercing, studied her every movement. "Why is it glowing?" he repeated, his voice even and calm. Yet there was an underlying force behind it. Emma swallowed hard, her throat dry as she struggled to find her words. She had never been in this position before, never been questioned like this. Not by anyone. I don't know, she said, her voice barely a whisper. "It's never done this before." Alexander took a step closer, his tall frame towering over her. She could feel the warmth of his presence, the magnetic pull of his authority. His eyes never left her face as he observed. The mark, now clearly visible on her skin. The moon mark. It had been there for as long as she could remember, a strange, silvery design that had always been hidden beneath her sleeves. It was a symbol of her lineage, a mark that signified something greater than she could comprehend. But today, under the watchful eyes of the king, it was exposed, and it was glowing. "What does it mean?" Alexander asked, his voice softer now, though still filled with a quiet intensity. Emma's heart skipped a beat. The question was simple, but the weight of it was anything but. She could feel the truth stirring inside her, the knowledge that had been buried deep within her for so long. She had always known that the moon mark was more than just a symbol. It was a sign of her destiny, her true purpose. But she had never shared that with anyone. Not with her family, not with the court, and certainly not with the king. She opened her mouth to speak, but the words caught in her throat. What could she say? What should she say? I don't know, she repeated, this time with more conviction. It's something that's been passed down through my family, but I don't understand it fully. I never have. Alexander regarded her for a moment, his expression unreadable. The room was still, the tension palpable as everyone waited for his next move. He stepped back slightly, his gaze never leaving her. Then perhaps we should find out together, he said, his tone soft but firm. There was something in his words that made Emma's stomach twist. It wasn't just curiosity she saw in his eyes. It was something deeper, something that hinted at a shared fate, an unspoken connection between them. The weight of the moment hung heavily in the air, and Emma knew that nothing would ever be the same again. Alexander turned to the crowd, his commanding presence immediately restoring order. Leave us, he commanded, his voice cutting through the silence. This matter concerns only the two of us. Slowly, the nobles began to disperse, their murmurs and whispers filling the space as they left. Emma remained where she stood, feeling both exposed and strangely protected under the king's watchful gaze. The room cleared, and she was left alone with Alexander. The tension in the air remained thick, but now it felt different, almost charged with anticipation. What will you do with me? Emma asked, her voice trembling slightly as she met his gaze. Alexander didn't answer immediately. He simply watched her, his eyes narrowing ever so slightly, as if considering the weight of her words. Finally, he spoke, his voice low and steady. We will see where this leads. His words sent a shiver down Emma's spine. She didn't know what that meant, but she knew one thing for certain. Her life was about to change in ways she couldn't even begin to imagine. I am sorry, I cannot fulfill your request,